Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm creating a Happy Mail card using another digital stamp from Rachelle Anne Miller. This one is called Sisters and was released this month and I truly fell in love with it. Well, the name, I think it's clear why. This is so cute and I just couldn't wait to color it in. Now, as you know me, I have printed this using Transotype coloring paper. I also recently got a new printer because my older one didn't work anymore, so now I have a laser printer. I must admit, it's a bit big or huge, the printer itself, but it works as well, which I already thought because, well, laser printers are generally, well, promoted when you want to do digital stamps, although it's not necessary because I used a inkjet printer before. So as this paper is Transotype perfect coloring paper, I am sort of coloring the same way as I always do. I'm starting with my darkest and I work my way through all the colors of my combination towards the lightest. Now, as these are two sisters and there are many ways of being sisters and adopted and all those things, I decided to do the same skin tone, although I doubted about changing it up a bit. I also noticed when I look at my sister that, well, she gets brown more easily than me. So we also have a different skin tone. So you can do whatever you like. But just to keep it simple, as you know me, I decided to use the same skin tone. Now, as this is the same, I think it's quite clear I'm doing the same every time. Although for the bigger one, I am trying to get those shadows on the left side. And for the small sister, I'm trying to get those shadows on the right side, sort of basing myself on their backs and just having where they are facing the light source. But it's not like a science thingy here, so if I'm doing something else, then that's totally fine. If I switch it up somewhere, somehow, I'm not bothered by it. It's all about having fun and liking the end result, of course. For the coloring of their dresses, I decided to go with an old pinkish color, like really soft, and then a really soft blue color combination. Now I must admit, originally in my thoughts I had another idea for this card and it ended up failing miserably, so I had to change it up. For the purpose of the length of the video, I didn't include it, but I will tell you what I did. I started on the grass, coloring it in, and it failed. Like, it was terrible, it was ugly. So what I normally don't do is fussy cutting. I said it before, Rachelle Anne Miller Designs, I love the swirly look, I love those lines that are curling outside of the dresses, of the hair and all those things, and I don't want to lose any of those details. That's why I prefer to create masks, add it, and then do the background if I need to, and have a one-layer card. Now, as I started coloring the grass and saw that the color choice was completely wrong, also it was really ugly. I'm not good in backgrounds when it comes to Copic coloring them, so this grass was daunting for me, I must admit, and I tried, but it failed, as I already said. So I colored it in quite well, the grass, so that it wasn't overlapping with the images, with the girl's hair, so that was handy, because I had like, okay, there is only one more option. I'm going to try to fussy cut it out, and then I will print it out again on a second piece of Transotype perfect coloring paper, do the background pieces over there with the same coloring as I will show here, and then I will add the fussy cut image on top of the printed image, and I have perfect placement. And it ended up to be a more white card, but I actually truly love it. I love it way more than when I had the idea with the grass and all those things. Now I must admit, and this was released this month, so the inspiration isn't far off. There are many design team members from Rachelle Anne Miller that also colored this amazing image in, and there are some gorgeous ways to do the grass that I think are genius, and I really have to try that out as well. But just if you want to color in the grass and you're like me and you don't really know how to tackle it, definitely check out on Instagram on Rachelle Anne Miller's site all the inspiration that is over there, because there are some incredible cards to find there. Having said that, I am working my way through the blue dress and the hearts. I love all the details on the dresses and the socks and the pants that Rachelle Anne Miller does. It gives a bit of a difficulty if you want to color quickly, but again, I went from time to time into those hearts. I'm just using my colorless blender to get those colors out if they are bothering me too much. But truly, many ways to fix it. If you truly want to have white hearts like me, you can also color them in. I think that would be lovely as well, but just to keep it soft and white as well, I didn't color them in. What I also did in the past was to use a white jelly roll pen and just go over the areas that I want to have white. That's an option as well. I think that's really cute and handy. But as you see here, I am using my colorless blender today. A marker, as I said many times before, I cannot miss in my craft room. I need it when I'm Copic coloring. I'm not a genius that doesn't make mistakes. Every card, I think at least once I'm using that blender, and most of the times many more than only once. So for the bunny, I decided to go with a really soft gray color combination, warm grays. I thought that would match wonderfully with the blue and the pink. Also, I was postponing the hair. So as I say, there is this lovely thing about Rachelle Anne Miller and other designers, that they help you with the lines in the hair. And for the big sister, that's definitely a help in my opinion. The little sister has this fluffy hair, and I had no clue how to start on that one, so I postponed. And normally I would really start with that. I always start with the things that I find hardest to get right, and hair, although I'm getting more used to it, still stays something that is quite daunting. But well, it ended up quite well. I'm happy with the end result, so I cannot complain in the end. But yeah, if you're not sure about something, start with that just to have it over with, and if you like it, you can continue. If you don't like it, you still haven't colored everything in, so you can maybe start over if you need to. So now onto the hair, starting of course with the one with the most help. The bigger one. I just love this. I also love the swirliness of the hair. Today I'm doing quite a highlighted brown hair color, but I love it. I love it. It was the first time, and I did already many cards with this brown combination, but it was the first time that I used E59, E37 and E33, and E37 is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Just saying. So doing some flicking, turning the paper if I need to help me to flick in the direction of the hair itself, to have that shape. And I'm always starting at the same point. It's not that I have done the darkest color, so I don't need to go there. No, I'm always overlapping when I'm doing the flicking. You can do multiple layers if you want to, you don't need to. Personally, I do most of the time 2 layers. Here I was dotting because I really liked what I had right now, but then for the tail, I just thought that it was a bit too soft, and if I did a second layer, then I had to do it all over. So that's why I went all over. But yeah, and don't be afraid to leave some white space when you're doing hair like this. I'm just flicking, and if I have white areas left over, that's perfectly fine. If I don't, that's also fine. But I really like that today on this card and on the hair of the bigger girl, I could keep that white area on some places. Sometimes when you do a second layer, you completely color it in just because the flicking is really flicking, you know? There is not all the control of the world to keep some white areas. So also colored in the hearts, I am not going to fussy cut them out, so I color them again later on, as well as this bird, as well as the flowers on the grass. I colored it in again on that second panel that I will be using later on after failing miserably with the grass. But having said that, it was a good try, and I think from time to time we need to try things out. And I was also happy that I could save this card. I made another card as well for Rachelle Anne Miller, and there was just no saving, and it was not about the coloring, it was not about the ink blending, it was the masking paper that I used. It was a newer one. Normally I use Inkadinkado stamping mask paper to do the one layer cards for Rachelle Anne Miller, and that's really good. It's not that sticky. It's sticky enough for one go, and sometimes two, but when you peel it off, all the stickiness is peeled off also. I cannot recall for this moment, but I used another brand because my Inkadinkado was running out. I bought new ones because I had the issue, but I used another brand, and when I peeled off the mask, the sticky things were left over on the paper, and when I tried to remove it, I just ruined the paper, ruined the whole card. It was finished after 3 hours of coloring and ink blending, and I was so annoyed. Never using that masking paper again. If you're curious, just ask me in the comments, because I cannot recall, and then I will look it up. But yeah, if you want to make sync cards, I really recommend Inkadinkado. Okay, I cut it out, and as you can see, I have an A2 size panel with that image on again. I colored the critters, the flowers also again, and then I took this amazingly cute stamp set from my elephant family time because I wanted to have a more neutral sentiment for my card, and well, I used it from family time. Then I'm going to add this A2 size panel on my card base. I had this frame, I wanted to use that on my first idea. This frame is created by using 2 of the A2 layers dies from Waffle flowers. Exactly which 2 I cannot recall, but just I laid it out to see how much space I wanted to have around the image, and then I took the 2 next to each other to cut it out. Now, as you can see, fussy cut the image out. I am so glad that it worked out because I'm not a pro in fussy cutting. It's truly not my thing. But I started adding several thin foam squares. Yes, I think it's important to know a bit of dimension is always lovely, and there are a lot of people that create cards and then they fussy cut things out, and then they fussy cut a smaller piece out. There are also dies for flowers like that, and I think that's crazy. When I see a card like that, I'm like always blown away the patience that those people have to make like 4 layers of images stacking on top of each other, each time limiting the area that they are stacking on top of each other. It's crazy. That being said, my card is all done right now. I'm not going to add anything more. This is a wide, simple card. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and of course that you like the end result. If you do, you can always give it a thumbs up. For the color combination, I refer to my blog post. There you can find every combination for each of the images or parts of the images. And that's it for today. I wish you all a fabulous day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll be back soon. Bye!